can you go and tell people I work at Anime Balls Deep?
Not
at all.
Seriously?
I mean, how do we say that in public? Yeah, I'm working on Anime Balls Deep. I'm like,
Hello and welcome back to the Ani-Lyst podcast, YouTube's #1 ranked Indian anime podcast. And today we are going deep. We are going balls deep. We are getting anime balls deep on the podcast. Well, actually, they are representatives, Anand and Dev. Welcome to the podcast.
yes.
Okay, thank you so
Hey
much.
guys, how are you?
Amazing.
Is Mumbai treating you guys well?
I mean, the heat wave is treating me really, really well.
Yeah, so I'm from Chennai as well, so it's like the same over there as well. So it's like another way from home. Yeah, it feels like home, but it's the heat wave is catching up quite a bit.
Let's do a small round of introductions about getting to know you guys. So can you just start and introduce yourself to the people who haven't heard of Anime Balls Deep or you guys?
Should I? Okay. So basically, Anime Balls Deep is a YouTube channel, and we've been talking about anime for they've been talking about anime for 10 years at this point, and it's mainly shonen centric. We write and talk about any shonen anime you could think of, like take Demon Slayer or take Jujutsu Kaisen, Bleach, anything that you can ever in the shonen genre you can think of. And we work as script writers for them, and we also work on their subsidiary called animeexplain.com, which is a news blog website which is also mainly shonen centric. And I've been working there for 2 to 3 years, I think. Yeah, 3 years. And he has been working for 1 to 1.5.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Anime Balls Deep is our biggest guest yet.
Yeah, on the channel. Yeah.
Someone who has 2 million subscribers. So hitting that big of a thank you guys for coming.
No, it's
Yeah, thank you guys for having us.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to know more about your experience of working with Anime Balls Deep. How has it been? They are not in India, right? From what I understand. So how is the coordination, everything? How does everything work?
So yeah, we basically, our office is online. Basically, we have a separate Discord server for our work and everything, where all of us.
Wait a second. So you don't work on Microsoft Teams or Google Suites. You work on Discord.
Yes.
Yeah.
देखो ऐसे काम करते हैं.
Yeah, we've been working on Discord the whole time.
Yeah, Discord has been our. Basically what happens is we have a core fixed hours. For their time is 1 to 7. For us it's 4:30, 5:30 to
10:30,
11. And we have to be on VC throughout those times.
And there's channels like editing channel and scriptwriter website. So you just stick there, and the boss, other users said, and these guys, they just come and hop around, checking what everybody's doing, what they're up to, if they need help with anything. So it's just a chill environment. We're talking on VC the whole time, working together and stuff like that.
We also have meetings there. So for example, before work starts, we have a scrum meeting where we tell our what is the agenda for the day, what we're supposed to do. So we say okay, we are doing this for the day, we're covering this. And the heads also say okay, this for this week we're going to do this. What is the plan for the entire week? So we kind of plan it out and say what is the
priority list.
The priority list, basically what sort of content we have to publish in both the YouTube channel as in the website as well. We have our own discussions as well with that.
So is this Discord server a private one, and do you guys also have a Discord server for the community?
Yeah, so we have 2 Discord servers. One is just for us work, people who are working with for Anime Balls Deep, and there's also the official Anime Balls Deep Discord server, which is available for everybody. So that I've not been there much, but there's a lot of talk going on there. There's separate channels where people talk about various anime and manga, specifically what we also kind of cover, the most important ones like Boruto, Naruto, Jujutsu Kaisen, My Hero Academia, Black Clover, Demon Slayer, Dragon Ball, all those things people talk about over there and just have a good time. And they also I guess play games.
They play games with people on the server, like Valorant and stuff like that.
So that official server also acts as, so when these guys, the main 4 heads of the YouTube channel, when they stream on YouTube, so they use this official server as they join this particular VC where they can stream for the YouTube channel, and they use that.
And like you said, that it's totally shonen centric. So don't you guys feel, as anime enthusiasts, don't you guys feel like you can also go a little bit slice of life, isekai, ecchi, maybe because as your name is Anime Balls
Balls
Deep,
Deep,
quite
yeah.
a cultured name. So do you feel to dive into actually like ऐसे कभी होता है feel?
Of
खुद से
course,
personally?
like, you know, like I am, as much as I write about Shonen, I am an extremely seinen guy. I really enjoy extremely mature stories with like a lot of philosophy and stuff like that. Even right now I'm wearing a Neon Genesis t-shirt.
Yeah, that's a nice t-shirt. by the way.
Thank you. So I love all of that stuff. So we have tried writing about like Vinland Saga and a few other series, and it's like it really depends on what the people want to, because you're not just doing it for yourself. It's like you're sharing what you feel about anime, right? Going balls deep about it.
Yeah.
So for that, it also needs to be like reciprocated, you know, in a way. So it's like trying to find that balance of what people want and what you want to do. As like that's how I feel about it. So if the time comes when people like truly start appreciating these stories as well, like how we've seen with Vinland Saga recently, then it's obviously going to happen. And I think the most complex series that we've written about should be Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah, definitely. I've also dabbled.
Did you
my
guys
hands-
try dabbling into Fate?
Fate
Series?
series? No,
Fate
I-
series, it's like
Personally, I'm not, but I'm pretty sure there are others in the team who are probably like big fans of it. But right now, no, we're not written any scripts or like.
Is Fate series shonen?
it is, I
Yeah.
think.
Shonen fantasy.
Shonen
Yeah,
fantasy.
Shonen fantasy. Yeah.
The one thing that I did wrong while getting into Fate series is that I started with the visual novel. If you guys don't know, the visual novel is pretty graphic in certain ways, like in NSFW ways, and it's like a written dialogues describing every single action.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like if I say that demonetized forever, like that.
Say it, I can beep it out.
Okay. So it's like they talk about how they use, how they
Oh, shit.
inserted everything, everything.
Damn.
It's crazy.
Being the main character and Saber, right?
Like everybody, like whoever's seen it is, it's like so insanely described that hentai looks very, you know, so not just soft. It feels like respectful.
So like, even high school DxD is like.
Yeah, high school
child's play
DxD
with
is
that.
like, yeah, it's like, you know, it's okay. But like when you're reading that, it's like, how do I say that in my head? And like it creates a picture obviously because you're reading something. So it's so descriptive that it is traumatizing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never got into Fate series again. I'll just watch the action scenes and I'm like, yeah, this is good.
Like
That's the way
I started
I'm
watching the Fate series without knowing how big it is. Like I just knew that people were talking a lot about it.
Yeah.
From where do you start? So I started off with Fate Stay Night, then Unlimited Blade Works,
Yeah.
and then the 3 movies.
Hmm.
I watched it and then I was like, okay, this was good to watch, and it wasn't that confusing. What's the whole hype about? Then I went down a rabbit hole. कि okay, इसका ये है, इसका ये है,
Yeah, the
different
connection
tangents.
basically,
Yeah.
And like, damn.
Yeah, like
This is not gonna
I
happen for me.
watched even these guys discuss about it also in Trash Days where they were talking about the whole Fate series,
Yes.
the whole, and I was
The
like,
plethora of the whole.
the whole
Yeah.
how confusing the whole watch
Yeah.
orders. I was like, someday.
The two most
No,
confusing series for me is Fate and the Gatari series. Like
Monogatari.
Monogatari.
Have you seen the Magical Index?
Railgun, nahi, magical.
Magical Index, or it's a
Yeah.
railgun or
Scientific
I've
Railgun.
heard of it, but
Yeah,
like, yeah,
but-
scientific railgun, right?
Yeah,
I've
there's
heard of
just
it.
like a Fate series with same universes do different MCs, and then it again comes down to an Avenger point where both the MCs meet. But unka alag se ek series.
God.
Yeah, and then they have an incestuous child called Accelerator or something. Weird
Why is this a
shit.
common trope in anime? Sweet home Alabama.
Yeah, especially with Oshinoko at the situation
Oh
right
my
now.
God.
In the market.
Yeah,
People are-
Spoilers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
I haven't watched Oshinoko yet.
No,
Me
watch,
neither.
okay. You should watch it. The Oshinoko is very interesting. Especially the first episode, it got a lot of reception. Especially with how
yeah.
things change suddenly, drastically, which even I didn't expect.
That happens, whenever there is a huge hype over something, you don't feel like watching.
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, like
true.
that's why I'm holding out on like Oshinoko. Like the hype is still so fresh about it.
Yeah, is it
That-
actually good?
Nahi, like I've heard people say the opposite thing. Like the marketing was done so much that the show couldn't live up to the expectations.
Yeah, like the first episode definitely like caught up the hype so much because of it's 1 hour and it drastically changed the story from what we kind of expected it to be this very happy-go-lucky idol series, which is not at all. So it goes deep dive into how the politics and how dark the
Flips
whole
180.
flips full 180 over there. So it deep dive into how dark the whole idol industry is and how people in the industry, especially the idols over there, how they suffer on with their lives to keep up with their expectations, keep up with like how like they're supposed to act. Like they start from childhood. Like these main characters, they start from childhood, and their fandom also is like extremely crazy about it. They go like probably even like K-pop level craze of fandom there for idols over there. So they show a very realistic side of everything over there. So I mean, the same guy who wrote Kaguya-sama wrote this as well. Yeah. So it's like it's a complete different series altogether. Both of them are. So like him diving deep into this level of industry, it's pretty like
unconventional.
Pretty unconventional.
When you got to know that it's the same mangaka, did you feel confused or like did you have?
No, I knew it. Like they were both the same, penned by the same author, but I'm still like thinking like how did he pull that off? Like these two mindsets completely like that.
Yeah, like from what I've heard, like they're poles apart, right?
Yeah, very poles because Kaguya-sama is like more comical.
Yeah,
is more towards the romance side.
Yeah.
Here it's like full like okay, how do these idols deal with social media hate?
Yeah,
and one of them, the characters literally she got so much of hate that she was almost committed suicide in a series where no, it's also a reference to one of the it's also a reference to one of the real life incidents in Japan where an idol because of
not an idol she was a pro wrestler.
She was a pro wrestler, also acted in a reality series, and unlike in the series where the girl was saved, she actually committed suicide there. So it was
they faced a lot of criticism for that as well, because apparently from what we know so far, they did not get permission from her family about this, and they like 1-to-1 copied it almost. Because the dialogues in the anime and manga are the same as what she was actually told in the show and by like comments online. Like they're word to word same.
So that is why the mother of that girl literally like
she sued.
She was wanting to sue the studio and the author, saying like how can you just take this reference like that without
at least ask for permission.
So that was intense, but
damn.
Yeah, because like Japan, obviously, like any community, they have a lot of
like Japan.
Japan. Everything happens in Japan.
Yes, Japan.
Yeah, it's like people are very like hardcore fans, become very hardcore fans of like idol or like celebrity culture. Obviously, at least in this era, is extremely
I think Japan is a country where mascots and idols they play a very important role in the whole.
Representation of the whole country in general.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
like if Mario, Pikachu,
Nintendo,
all of these things,
everything.
So everything has a idol or a mascot, and people connect those things with each and everything. McDonald's is a collaboration or it's with Coca-Cola, etc. They try to put faces of those idols
everywhere.
Just like बढ़ते उनका. But again, this is a very great topic, and I didn't know about this.
It was a big
topic on Twitter. That is why we also got an opposite, because we are also like
it became such a big thing that like it was a huge topic of discussion, because it was like what is the boundary of real life and fantasy, and how do we portray issues or incidents from real life in an anime or an art form without it being without it leeching off of the incident and coming off of as like trying to profit from tragedy.
That is the main thing. They thought that the author was kind of profiting from the incident
because it's creating shock value.
So that was a major like controversy at that time. So
God. Okay, I don't know where I was supposed to go from this. But again,
tangent and the
tangents go on.
So we'll go back. You mentioned that this was a deep topic. You also said anime balls. If you guys are content writers for Anime Ball Z, right?
Yeah.
But is it easy to tell people that where you work? Like, can you go and tell people I work at Anime Ball Z?
Not at
Not
all.
at all. Not
Seriously?
I mean, how would we say that in public? Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
working on anime balls deep. I'm like,
Yeah, like imagine I tell my mom. My mom says that, oh, this, like, he works for a YouTuber, and my aunt asks, what YouTuber? You know,
ABD.
and I say,
we-
I say ABD.
Huh.
They're like, what's the full form? It's like anime stuff. I can't say
yeah,
balls
same,
deep.
same. Even to my dad also, I say him like, okay, basically the whole company is registered under the name Mo and Seth, so that's why I use that name as the public
Yeah,
thing. In my,
I put that in my LinkedIn.
Yeah,
as well.
LinkedIn profile.
I
and
can't
everything.
write balls
Anime
deep on
balls deep.
LinkedIn.
Yeah.
So I say Mo and Seth. So, but when I say, okay, what is the YouTube channel? I just show it. Like I just take my phone.
Yeah, this is it.
Yeah, this is it. Whether you want to judge or not, it's up to you.
Yeah.
But I won't say it out
No,
loud.
I'm smarter than you. I just go to videos and I just show them the thumbnails and stuff.
Ah, yeah, that is
So they
also-
get the picture and they don't see the name.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
Like the fuck ton of followers, man. Like
Yeah.
Yeah,
subscribers.
it's a
you
lot.
got.
Because they've been, the channel's been there since 2015. Yeah.
14, 15, yeah.
14, 15 years. And they gain a lot, especially with the shonen crowd, which is a lot.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Yeah.
in the world, it's a lot of shonen fans. So it's, in that sense, and plus with the editing style that they've created, it's like that blew up quite a lot with the
That
quality
just
that came
became
out.
meta.
Like, I didn't know that I was actually a consumer of the content of Anime Balls Deep.
Yeah.
And then honestly, we connected, and then me and Sal, we were just sitting, we were just going through the YouTube page. And then I just went on popular. And the main popular video is of Goku in Super Saiyan 6 golden form.
Yeah, that's
And
very
in
video.
front of Beerus doing this.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
thumbnail has been in my feed since the last 5-6 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
They really created that whole style of like
Yeah, style of thumbnail.
and
Because-
even editing.
Yeah, so thumbnails, we have like a separate person who actually draws these characters
Yeah.
from scratch. Using, of course, references, of course, from the main series. But there is a person who like draws everything. Like, so basically, how the process goes is the main heads, like they pitch okay, this is how the thumbnail should look like.
Okay, before heading on the thumbnail, like let's discuss the content flow.
Yeah.
Like from thought conception
Yeah.
to the scripting, then to the video shooting, then the uploading part where the thumbnail comes in.
Yeah.
So okay, let's come to the thought part of it. कि इस पे अभी वीडियो बनाना है या फिर इस पे वेब आर्टिकल लिखना है.
Like your
So-
roles in all of
हाँ,
those.
like
Roles and
how
all
is
those
the
things,
entire flow?
See, it starts with content ideation, of course. You make a list of topics for, like, say, Jujutsu Kaisen. So you have, like, say, 6-7 topics, like, you know, explaining Gojo's infinity or talking about Sukuna, like his
Yeah, like how
original
strong was
form.
Sukuna, how strong was Gojo,
Yeah.
their relationship between these two, or something like that. Those
Yeah,
kind of
or
topics.
explaining complex things like Geto and Gojo's relationship and the metaphors and like how it is explained and what they stand for in the world of Jujutsu Kaisen. So do all of that. We like create topics, we list them down, and then we prioritize them. And then you pick one topic and then you start discussing about it. I think that is the most important part because, like, you know, a single head can only get you so far.
Yeah.
It's like Adil Yusuf, they discuss, they form a thing, and then they give it to us, and then we add our own take to it, what we believe is right or what we think is a bit different, and then we discuss it. This can go from like 30 minutes to hours. Like we've been in 3-4 hour long meetings. Like it's
For one topic.
yeah, like
Yeah, for one topic.
because it's like there's so much to it, and how do you want to express all of this while keeping it entertaining, right? So it's like you discuss all of that, you come up with a flow, right? Like what do you want to address first and then second, and you try to create this like movie like thing where it flows seamlessly and everything fits in perfectly. I think the best example that I have worked on for this would be like this video we did on Chainsaw Man, like explaining how every female character in Chainsaw Man, how they affected Denji and how they helped him develop as a human. And it is, I think that's the video I am the most proud of personally, because we thought about it for like 3-4 days. We made a whole list. Like it was, I think the structure itself, what we decided on was like 2000 words, because it's so much to just consume and to break it down, create this beautiful story explaining every single aspect of it. So that goes into like content creation and like the ideal flow. And then we take a few days scripting, and then we pitch it to Adil, Yusuf and the main guys, and then it goes through a review. So we sit down, we read it through together, we see what sentences we don't like, or what part we don't like, or what we could
basically
add.
they go by line, saying reading out loud, because it's a script, right? We have to like voice it later on. So they voice it and they read line by line and then say, okay, does it fit here, or is this not necessary? So they kind of remove some things, they add some things on their own based on their own ideas and everything. So all these processes goes on after we write the script, but a lot of things that goes while writing it's because see, we're script writers and we have to know a lot of things about the show itself. So for example, like with Chainsaw Man, we have to because AVD in particular, we read the manga for the most part. Whatever series we cover, we have to read the original source material. We can't just go by just watching the anime. So most of the topics that we are covering is mostly manga related topics which people cover. So for that we have to read the entire thing chapter by chapter and know where events happen, which is quite a lot thing, because like we have to like keep in mind where these kind of things happen, what dialogue these kind of said and how it connects to the others. So all of these ideas and everything, it has to come up with the flow. So like unless you know and deep dive, like you know these series in pretty certain detail, it's very difficult to like just cover these topics and reason. That's why
Then
like
still you have to like go back to it again and again. You have to remember dialogues, you have to remember where this scene happened in what chapter, like it needs to be on your tongue. Like you have to remember, like say Boruto chapter 41-42 was Baryon mode. You have to remember everything like that. And it gets like rougher when it's like bigger series, like say One Piece. That's 1,000 chapters, right? So you have to keep reading it, you have to keep it fresh in your mind. And the whole process, like if you start out making your own videos, it seems pretty simple. But when you start actually diving into it and you want to create content that is deep and informative, you realize just how long those processes are. And like we mentioned, we have this thing called Scrum where we talk about our daily agenda. That's very important because we upload like 3-4 videos a week. So it needs to be clear to everybody what we're targeting now, what we need to target next, and what we need to do next week. Because if you don't idealize it, if you don't like create a proper flow chart, it's not going to happen. Everything will fall apart. People don't know what they're doing. The scripts are not ready on time, editors aren't available, or this is happening, that is happening. So you need at least some form of rigidity in the sense that everybody knows what they're doing.
And also like for each script also there's a brief flow of how the script should follow as well, which is provided by the heads Adil and Yusuf, and then we just expand on it a lot based on what we know. So without that kind of a flow, it's very difficult because we tend to go on tangents quite a lot. Because if we want to go deep into a certain thing, we can go on writing about it. Because like for example in Chainsaw Man, we can talk about Denji's his balance between devil and a human. We can go on talking about it long, but we need to have a certain flow so that it gets concise and also makes it entertaining as well. That's the main thing. We have to make sure that the viewers don't get boring in too much of details. It has to fill with. So our style, our ABD style is like that is why we have a lot of jokes as well. We like a lot of memes. We like to make a lot of humor so that it becomes entertaining, or else it just becomes like an info dump.
You don't want to just like yap. And I think of it like as like I'm talking to my friend about anime. Like you're just sitting there and you just keep talking about anime. Like when I started watching anime, it was 3 of us, me, my brother and a friend, and we had only watched Naruto, and we would talk about Naruto for 3 hours a day like for a year straight. So I just think of that, and it's just writing like that, just constantly talking about everything that we find interesting. And then obviously when we're sitting with friends, you joke about it and stuff. So we just keep adding all that.
What I feel is for a channel.
No, I just wanted to complete that entire segment.
I was going to go.
So then you get the basic gist.
You
get the skeleton. You add the
write the entire script. Write the entire script so that it goes in a flow.
उसके मैं यही point पे मेरा था, and then you can go on. I was going to say कि for a channel that has 2 million subscribers, there is a reason why people are coming on that channel to hear those people, right?
Yeah.
Because the most difficult part about writing a script is not, obviously content, that is difficult, but also to frame that script according to the person who's going to
Voice it.
Voice
Yes.
it.
Yes.
So that is for my, like, comparatively for Ani-Lyst, what I do is whenever I make something, I make him read it.
Correct.
But I know कि जो भी मैंने लिखा है ये इसके
टोन में नहीं है.
tone में नहीं है.
हाँ.
So for that, you guys might also have some team building.
Yeah. So we basically, like, while writing the script, we should also make sure like who's voicing it. And also, like, for example, for me, like, I mostly like what Dragon Ball stuff, One Punch Man, and Demon Slayer, a bit of other series. So I know, okay, if it's Dragon Ball, Adil's gonna voice it. If it's One Punch Man, Harrison's gonna voice it, like another person. So based on that mindset, I have to like write, okay, this is the kind of humor that they like to voice out and everything. So based on that as well, I have to mend the script in such a way.
Because see, if it's like you have to imagine, you know that person, right? We know our bosses. So if you don't write it the way they talk to you, then it won't feel natural. Because like imagine if Nezuko was talking like Naruto, that would be so weird. So you need to have that ideation key, like, okay, this is how they talk and this is how they talk to me, or like in general. So you write it like that, and it comes like in the start it would obviously be a little complicated, but over time you get the idea of it and then it just comes naturally.
Like for me, like obviously he's my brother, right? So I know most of the times when he talks about something.
Yeah.
So whenever in the video, I've noticed that in his second or the third sentence, there should be some kind of a joke that should be aligned to the first 3 sentences.
Yeah.
So वैसे मुझे कुछ ना कुछ form करना पड़ता. So if you're talking about top 10 hentai, top 10 ecchi anime. Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, we're talking about top 10 ecchi anime, and number 8 is something as info डाल रहा है, and then it's about a school situation. Then I know that the joke over there should be कि बच्चे हमारे टाइम में पढ़ने जाते थे, अभी ये टाइम में ये सब करने जा रहे हैं. So ऐसे कुछ, so we have to
थोड़ा a small humorous twist.
That is very important.
Very important.
Okay, from script writing and everything
to fleshing it out. Then next.
So review happens and these guys like voice it out and say, okay, so once the review process, that itself takes like 3-4 hours, and once review is done, then they voice it. So the voice over the entire script, and that voice files, they send it to the editors. Editors themselves are like a huge team, 10 to 15 people or like more on that are there. So what they do is like the voice files are sent, and then they send the script along as well, so that they know, okay, which meme, which panel to be done, everything, and they make the video from scratch itself. In a sense, like they add in the anime clippings, the anime videos that pertaining to the particular scene, or the manga panels which is there. So they make the entire.
So the editors add those things.
Yeah, the editors add those things. They make.
We add like cues.
Like say like cues or like links, hyperlinks.
Hyperlinks of
so
where
you guys
the
give them,
or
okay.
Usually, like say if it's a meme, so we put it ourselves because they'll have to spend time going to find
searching
it and stuff.
Searching
so
it.
instead of that, we know what we're talking
so you
about.
Mentioned the
so
source,
we just send it.
You mention a source, or they themselves while editing they'll ask, okay, where is this line from? Please give me the source. We kind of send it to it. So like that. So that's how it works. And they basically, like, with their editing skills, they of course do it from like, you know, from their own talents, and they know the style as well.
Everybody knows, like, you know, what part needs to be edited in what way. And depends on the video, how serious is the topic, or is it like, you know, funny, or just, you know, joking around. So the edit and music and stuff changes according to that.
The script acts as a blueprint on what they should visualize. Is what they do, and they add the. So like basically, like if it's like a 12-minute video, 15-minute video, the whole thing is given. The files are given to like 4, 5, 6 editors. So each editor has to do like 3 minutes or
depends
4
on
minutes.
that.
Depends on their video. So
it depends, like, you know, how long the video is and how urgently they need it.
What's the target that you keep for your videos? Particular time?
It depends on the topic itself. Like there is, I mean, ideally you would say 10-20 minutes or 15-20 minutes. But it really depends on the topic. Like if say it's a topic that has a lot of content, right? But like you could make a video that is 1 hour easily, but people wouldn't be watching a documentary about this one thing, right? You want to make it interesting.
Gotta
because
hit
they
that
want to learn.
YouTube sweet spot between
Yeah.
10 to 15
So
minutes.
mostly like
10
chapter
to 20
reviews. A lot of times we make chapter reviews of the most popular shonen. So for that, it takes around like 12 to 15 minutes. That is the average time.
Yeah, it depends.
For evergreen topics like like, which has already been discussed and everything we want to cover, that takes to like 20, 25, even 30 minutes or even more than that.
Yeah.
Depends on that.
The longest video we have on the channel is I think 1 hour 10 minutes or something. That is talking about the Attack on Titan ending. And we have written some really, really long scripts as well. Like the highest that I have written was 24,000 words.
Damn.
It took me about 16 or 17 days to write that. So yeah, like you do the research, you find all the info, you put it up there, and then you start writing it. And just thinking about it is mind numbing. And to give a more idea about the whole process, usually it takes like the whole writing process takes anywhere from 3 to 5 days per script.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask that. Like 17 days. Like, did you
Yeah,
feel that
so that's
pressure?
that's a
that you
long
have
That
to
was
close
like
this
shit, I need
quickly?
to complete this ASAP. This is taking a lot of time. But they also know it's a huge script. It's 24,000 words, right? So it takes time.
And this is going on while you have your daily tasks as well.
No, like if it's this big of a script, so
So,
it's just
acha, you
You
delegated.
kind of concentrate on that. Bit.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you don't then work on other videos.
Yeah, they don't want to
Other
put like
scripts.
too much work pressure on you, because if there's too much work pressure, the quality declines.
Yeah, it's a creative
And-
process.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a creative process. You need to have that mental freedom to be able to channel your energy into it. If you have too much on your plate, nothing's going to work.
So the basic timeline on how scripts, the amount of time that finish a script, like chapter reviews, it takes around 3-4 hours when you're good at it.
Yeah,
Right? So
it depends on the manga as well.
manga as well.
Like if it's Boruto, no shade, I love Boruto, but like you could do it in 2-4 hours if it's a general chapter, and if it's something very interesting, like some moments that have happened recently, then it could take 5 hours or something. Depends.
which will cover around like 2,300 words, like that.
No, 3,000 words it goes.
3,000 words.
With Jujutsu Kaisen, it is the most time consuming, because Jujutsu Kaisen has like a very in-depth power system with so many references to Buddhism and cultures.
A lot of
and
lore
this,
to
that.
it.
Lot of
Yeah.
lore to it,
Like I think just writing about all of this, I have gained so much knowledge, like random knowledge. Like I know where the Sukuna deity is in Japan. I don't know why I know that. Or like about Buddhism, or about like dharma cycles and stuff like that. You get a buttload of knowledge about the most random things around the world just through series like Jujutsu Kaisen, because they are so lore heavy, and it really speaks to the volume of the author, who have these like information with them, and how they're able to incorporate it into the manga without it seeming like too nerdy
jarring.
or jarring.
Yeah.
It's interesting, and then you have to express it.
Yeah, that's the main balance that we trying to find. It
Yeah.
sometimes difficult, but the balance between how deep you can go and how make it fun and entertaining as well.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to make it too deep where viewers be like, it is
Yeah,
it's
because
too jarring for my mind.
sometimes your passion is more than what people want. You are too interested into this because firstly you get paid to do this. That is there. So you are already into it, right? And then you find the series interesting. You work on what you like. So you keep reading, you keep understanding, you keep breaking it down. But do the people want all of that? Right? And like, if I can go on a just talk about Jujutsu Kaisen references for like 20-25 minutes continuously, but that's just going to be boring for anybody, even people who are fans of Jujutsu Kaisen, because it's like, wait, let me process this, so you have to make it a little digestible.
So then the editors start
so
working on the
basically
video.
editors-
Yeah.
I thought the editors only can post it.
No.
Nice,
So basically,
nice.
No.
It's a
After
lot.
the editors are done,
Acha.
it is compiled
Compiled.
by this one person.
But yeah, that is one very interesting thing. Like there are multiple editors working on one
On
same
one video, yeah.
video.
Basically, the whole file is divided among editors, and they know where to start and finish, and
Because see,
because they had some
yeah,
experience.
if you give, let's say 1 minute takes 1 to 1.5 hours to edit. Yeah. Right, because the editing style is
Splitting
pretty heavy.
that in multiple people.
Yeah. So let's say it's a 20-minute video. You want to post it tomorrow. Are you going to have someone work 26 hours? No, right? That's not possible. So everybody gets like a certain amount that they are capable of doing, right? And so, because again, editing is a very, very complex task. You have to maintain the quality every single second. You have to look at every single second. You have to make sure that it syncs up with the audio and everything comes in place at the right time. So it takes a lot of mental capability as well. So you don't want to give someone 6, 7, 8 hours of work to just continuous edit on a strict deadline. So that's why they have multiple editors, so that it's easier. And the reason why the videos don't feel like, multiple people are working on it is because the whole editing process, it's like a well-oiled machine. Everybody knows how to edit, what to use, when to use, and what matches everybody's personality. So that's why it just feels like a seamless flow.
So basically everyone is well in tune with the
the flow, with
yeah.
experience, with people who are
Yeah.
in, like our editors, like core editors, and there are core editors also freelancers. So core editors, they know like what the style is. They've been working for like
the whole
1 year,
treatment of
2
the
years,
video.
and so on.
More than 2. A lot of people have been working for 3, 4.
Yeah, 3 or 4 years.
years.
Got it.
So they know the style, how it works. So
Yeah.
it's just like, but yeah, that editing time still takes time for like 3-4 hours, for 3-4 minutes or so.
Yeah.
So like then the main head of the editors team,
He
so he
compiles the
compiles
video.
all the videos and makes sure there's no errors and checks out
Audios
and
and-
audio, everything, description is everything put and everything.
Before
Right
that,
off.
they also review it again.
Review it again.
Like Adil Yusuf, they sit down, they review the
Yeah.
whole video. Ki okay, is every second okay? Do we have any errors here? Do we feel like we could have changed something? So
Okay.
all of that goes through, and then it is like sent a green light that okay, you can post this now. And then they start posting it. That is according to the scheduled deadline that we had for it. And for thumbnails, it's like when you start a video concept, they have a image of the thumbnail. And like, I don't know if many people have watched this, but Mr. Beast talked about it, that they don't make just one thumbnail. There are like 4 or 5 thumbnails, right? And then you cycle through it. You see which one fits the most. And then if you want to get into numbers, then the retention, CTR and stuff like that.
So they check it, okay, after the video is published, okay, how is it performing compared to the other videos and compared to the videos of other YouTubers as well.
And they know, they've been doing this for 10 years. They know what a video should perform.
Yeah.
So if they feel like something needs to be changed, they just do it instantly. And they have like you could just sit with them, right? They have one person says the video idea, and the other is like, okay, I think I have a structure. Then the other person is like, okay, I think that I have a thumbnail with this idea, and they just make a rough one right there in 2 minutes. And then the whole thumbnail process starts. That also takes a lot of time. We're writers, so we're not that involved in the thumbnail process, but we've been in those meetings as well. Like even them, they'll encourage like just join in everybody's like work, so that you understand where the other person is coming from. So you make it easy for others as well.
Yeah,
Because
but
this
you're
is
also
whole
writers
process.
for the websites as well, right?
Yes.
So you might be needing thumbnails over there too.
Yeah.
Like banner
Yeah.
images or thumbnails.
Yeah, so
Feature
we-
images.
So
Basically,
yeah. So how? Yeah.
The main thumbnail for the video itself, so as I mentioned before, there is a person who like draws the characters from scratch so that we don't get copyright. This thing.
More than that, it's like it needs to be specific
It
ways.
will be specific for that particular thing. Okay.
Video.
Like, for example, for example, there's in Jujutsu Kai something. Okay, can we get into spoilers a bit? I don't know.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, the entire manga community has spoiled the show for us.
So, for
it's
example,
fine.
if Yuji is fighting against Sukuna, so if let's say Yuji is kind of
Wait, you guys have not read the manga?
No.
Holy.
Okay, God, never mind.
Wait. Tell us what series you've completed, manga, so
No,
that
it's
we'll
fine.
give examples of that.
No,
Okay.
it's fine.
No,
Like we'll add a
I know what's
sticker
spoiler.
over here saying he skip to this part to avoid spoilers.
Bye,
So it's
this
fine.
is
Yes,
crazy.
now I am
if two
curious.
people are
Yuji is
with
fighting.
each other,
No, okay, fuck it. Okay, Yuji is fighting Sukuna.
Do you want me to explain it?
bro, that'll be another tangent, bro.
Yeah.
Don't-
Yeah, that will take 40
that would
minutes,
be a
1 hour.
different tangent, yeah.
Yeah.
So if those people are fighting, okay, if one person is dominating the other, okay, how would the thumbnail should kind of do? Like what should be the wordings for a thumbnail? What should be like the catchphrase and all that hype? Basically, the thumbnail is like the acts as the person. Okay, if I watch this video, how the thumbnail acts as the attractive notion.
Think of it as a book cover.
Yeah, book cover basically.
But then do you have to also keep in mind that I shouldn't be spoiling?
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah,
You don't want to spoil too much.
Not spoiling
Because
too much, but
especially like with manga chapter reviews, you
Yeah.
are going to spoil a little bit or a lot. You know,
that
it
is a
really
lot because
depends.
it's expected. If you're discussing that particular manga chapter and you're assuming the people who are watching are also manga readers, then
Or like
there's
me,
obviously
for example, me who was a normal scroller.
Yeah, that's the risk.
yeah, that's
So
the risk.
basically, you're trying to find a sweet spot. What's that word called? Intriguity.
Yeah.
Goldilocks.
I know what word you're talking about. I can't think of it either.
I can't pronounce it.
Which one?
Huh? Ah.
Exactly.
Intriguity.
So, but the thing is,
Intriguity.
So a thumbnail shouldn't be spoiler, but
Too
it should
spoilery?
be
too spoiler
intriguing you to
Hmm.
want to know more about.
more about. But of course, you will also get to know because
Acha,
there-
intrigue.
Intriguing. Yeah, the word is intriguing.
Integrity.
Intriguing.
Word नहीं है?
Intrigue. That is a different one.
Like,
Integrity नहीं रे. Integrity.
Intriguing.
basically you're saying like a
No, man.
Goldilocks zone. Okay, it's not.
yeah,
that
the Goldilocks zone. Yes.
Hmm.
No idea what you're talking. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like
Something
a sweet
अच्छा
spot. Yeah. So, but the thing is, yeah, the people who are watching us, they're mostly manga readers of the series that we covered: Jujutsu Kaisen, Demon Slayer, Dragon Ball, Boruto, Black Clover, and yeah, so they know like what they're expecting. So
Yeah. It's more so like a lot of people come there, like they read the chapter and they come there to like absorb
yeah. So
what the chapter
basically,
is about.
especially for chapter reviews, people watch our videos just to read the chapter along while we're explaining. They have not read the chapter before, but they watch our videos and they read the chapter as we are explaining. So there is a lot of people, a lot of the viewers for the chapter review
Yeah.
is basically that.
That's how I used to also like read the starting chapters for Dragon Ball Super. Like I didn't read the mangas. I read the explanations.
Explanation.
Of it. Yeah,
That's why
this
we
happened.
yeah,
That
that's
happened.
why we
Yeah.
say
Yeah.
the chapter begins this way. We basically read out a chapter and then explain in between how it goes, and so that
Yeah.
people
You need to
absorb
have a bit of transcription so
Transcription.
that people are in the loop.
in the loop of what the chapter is explaining, and then we explain a little bit here and there. Okay, how it connects with some previous things, and then
Yeah.
so forth and so forth and go on.
So okay, now we have explained how the thumbnail is done. How now the video is out there. Okay.
Yeah.
Now comes audience feedback.
Hmm.
When people start commenting on it.
Yeah.
So how do you take those things into consideration for
what
the
we
next
do is-
video?
Yeah, usually it's like everybody goes through the comments. Editors, writers, the head guys, everybody reads the comments and they find the comments that they find interesting and they just send it on a channel. It's not a specific channel like where we generally talk normally, and they send whatever they find interesting and they're like, okay, should we have done this? Or people really like this thing, you know? At this point, at the point that they are, it's like they already know what the comments are, right? Because the video, like there is a certain benchmark quality that has to be hit every single time. So it's like they kind of know where this is going. What's the most intriguing part about comments is the ideas that people have for like new videos or stuff like that, or what they want, because you want to give them what they want, right? So that is the most important thing. That's why they also do like community posts. Okay, out of these series that are coming out, what do you want to watch, right? What do you want us to break down?
We have this series in mind. Do you want us to cover this series?
Yeah.
So there's a voting system.
Like for example, we started covering Invincibles, which is a Western comic,
Yeah.
but people really wanted it, so we thought, okay, let's do it. We also covered Spy X Family, which is Spy Family or however you want to say it, but like that is not necessarily what you'd expect from people who constantly talk about Jujutsu Kaisen and stuff like
That
Yeah.
is shown in base.
Although Spy Family has a lot of details, a lot of interesting characters and like, you know, great amount of depth, it isn't like, you know, fighting and stuff like that. But people really like those videos. They also performed really well.
Like things you might have missed in the
Not
background.
just
of
that,
this.
it's like about characters.
Yeah.
Have you watched the anime?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spy Family.
Yeah. You have not read the manga, right?
No.
But you would have found like hints of like depth in the
Exactly.
anime
Yeah.
about Lloyd and you
Like
know,
a person in a wartime. A
yeah,
spy.
and
Yeah.
so there's like, if you read the manga, you get backstories and a lot of politics is involved in Spy Family, and it explains it very well, and it does a justice of like, you know, creating a fleshed out and a sensitive story. It doesn't just do it for like shock value or to make it feel like, oh, this is deep. We're not just like playing around. So that is the most interesting part. So people also wanted that. So we gave it to them.
What's up, my beautiful weebs? So that was the first part of the whole podcast. We'll be uploading the part 2 soon. So for now, make sure to like and subscribe and stay tuned for the next upload. Ciao.